let's discuss a few questions. Let's discuss a few possibilities uh, that are possible with AI, with ChatGPT that we have discussed till now. Some possibilities that comes to you with some things that we've done till now. Anybody, you could unmute and ask a question. Maybe if there's a raise hand feature, you could use that.
By
Or
using
you
correct prompts, we can design an entire textbook. So yeah.
Actually, it helps us in any kind of plan. Any plan, you put the right prompt, and it gives you variety of things. It suggests you so many things. So we've tried this a lot with our not only lesson plans, but we do a lot of activities at school. So it helps in brainstorming new ideas. Of course, we may not take up exactly what is there, but gives a new thought to whatever we've been doing in the past years. So it's an amazing thing, really.
So with the same prompts, do you get the same kind of material, or it is different for like every time?
every time it's different.
Hmm.
So
Every
everyone
time.
having same prompts, still the generation would be different.
Correct. So, see, while we do all of this, what's really important is we understand that this is AI and this will give us a draft, and we need to go through it and make some slight tweaks such that we get exactly what we want. And that is why the custom instructions that I gave in the beginning really helps. If your custom instructions are designed well, then you get that there's already a filter that what you are doing goes through, so you don't get random stuff. The custom instructions play a very, very key role.
And
And
is there
something,
a, sorry,
yeah,
continue.
go ahead.
Is there a possibility of changing the image if I'm not happy with the curation?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. You could just go to the same Spark and
Give,
regenerate.
okay.
So, sir, basically, that napkin also create works like ChatGPT.
Correct. It's a image
Ah,
diagrammatic image sort of a generation tool.
oh, okay, okay. Because now we have annual day around the corner, so we have so many. Principal tells us to give ideas on the current theme. Like our theme for annual day is the Seven Sisters, a rainbow of cultural magnificence.
Mhm.
So we need to choose different songs and dance and visualization to be
Just
displayed.
just put that in Chat GPT and you will get enough
Correct,
idea.
correct, sir.
So Anjali ma'am has a question. She says, in which other aspects of school can we use AI?
Brilliant. Very good question. You could use this, like, let me give you an example. So, the other day I was visiting one of my campuses in Varanasi, and it's a massive campus. There are 250 educators, a lot of admin people. And, the challenge that we said that we have a discipline policy in place. But what happens is every time a child does a misbehavior, there are 250 people educators, there are 100 200 odd other people who are, so the support staff and other people, and every time somebody responds to the situation in a different way. We have a policy in place, but every time somebody responds in a different way. So how do we solve for this? So, all 400, 500 people, if I show you the same image right now, all of us will be thinking differently. But with discipline, when you deal with discipline in a school, you need to be thinking alike. You have a policy and you need to be thinking exactly as per the policy. And that is why you have policies, right? So what we did is, we are not covering that right now in this session because it is a little bit a higher concept, and I'll show that to you in the fag end of today's discussion, which the math GPT, like we said. So we made a discipline GPT. Once we made a discipline GPT, then what we said is, for any situation you get, ask a question to this discipline GPT, and the discipline GPT will tell you what to do. And then you can choose to do what you want to do, but you will at least know what is the right thing to do as per the policy. Because at that spur of a moment, you don't want to go back and, read the policy, right? But you might, again, this again is something that we are testing out. You might go to this GPT and say, this happened, what could I do? Right? And it might give you the exact same response that the principal of the school would give you, or it might give you the exact same response that I would give you as one of the directors of the school, right? So it is so powerful to align all school systems. It has the power to make every teacher, every person in the school think exactly like the way you want them to think, right? So it is really powerful, and I am just exploring a few concepts right now, but I'm sure there are so many more things that AI can help us do, such that it will make life easy, it will align our systems, and it will bring consistency and continuity. Because technology, that is what technology does, it brings consistency and continuity, which humans cannot do, because we are and that's the plight of being a human, that you are a slave of your emotions. The moment you come out of your vasanas, and the moment you come out of your six senses, you are automatically liberated. And I think with AI, that is where education is heading, that all of this becomes like a small chunk of our time, but our time actually goes in self-realization and things like that. I see education heading in that direction over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, thank you. But usually say that we are dealing with children, and it's we are all humans, so that emotional aspect will remain. But let's
Absolutely.
say, yeah,
Absolutely. That's what I said, that is the biggest aspect, and that is what our schools will eventually work towards. Everything else will become a very small chunk of what we do in school.
yeah.
And
If that empathy factor is also incorporated in AI, then I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just thinking aloud.
it will eventually, it's learning from a collective intelligence that we all have, right? So empathy will automatically come in, it'll start thinking like humans as well, right? So that is the, it's capturing every data point of every individual on this planet.
Yes, yes, correct. Yeah. Because although we have what you just spoke about, the discipline policy, although there is a discipline policy, we have to do a case to case, differentiation. We cannot just have everything under one discipline. Each child may have some emotional baggage, so we may have to deal with him or her differently. And the
Correct.
same mistake committed, same discipline issue, say just beating somebody else by
Even
another
that,
child.
even
Hmm.
in your discipline policy, you could also have a differentiated approach, right? You could
Yeah.
also say that, okay, this is how I would deal when we have certain types of children. So you can have, even you could use GPT to have a much more comprehensive discipline policy.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, I'm now going to quickly share how to get a lesson plan, right? So some prompts and how to get a really good lesson plan from this. Okay, share. Starting off a new thread. How does a good lesson plan look like? What are the characteristics of a good lesson plan? Okay, this is what GPT responds: clear objectives, engagement, lesson structure, assessment feedback, differentiation, time management, resources material, real world application, so on and so forth. All right. And all of us know what a good lesson plan should look like. And now I structure my prompt in, prompt structuring is the most important thing when you deal with AI. So my prompt now is structured into task: create a grade 6 unit lesson plan, lesson PDF attached. I will attach a lesson PDF. Disha, could you please share the link in the chat of the lesson PDF? Update your knowledge with Bloom's taxonomy at the link provided to you and create the lesson plan with minimum 5 outcomes. 3 session plans, each session plan of 35 minutes. Format: use the above information on what a good lesson plan looks like. An expectation: the lesson plan should be simple yet of qualitative standards. So I'm now waiting for the lesson PDF. I think Disha had shared with me. Just give me a moment. Okay, so we are using this lesson, which is in CBSE Villages, Towns, Trade. I'm downloading that from the exact textbook chapter, and I will upload that exact textbook chapter from my computer. All right, and I am also one second. So it also asks me to upload a Bloom's taxonomy document, and I will also, put that up. So this is a format. Use the above information. Good. Okay. Update your knowledge on Bloom's taxonomy at the link provided. So here is the link. All right. And here you go. So it now gives me a clear learning outcome, session wise session plan. It also, shares that exact pages from the PDF, from the exact textbook that I shared, right? And it will also, now the moment I say here, if there's some PPT or something that I want to make, it will also give me a PPT, right? Conclusion of the unit. Can you give me a PPT to use in class for these 3 sessions?
I have one small question that we have to decide that it has to be three sessions for that unit, or ChatGPT itself can decide.
Well, I think that is the acumen of the teacher, wherein कि कितना आपको depth में पढ़ाना है, आपके पास कितने मतलब what is the time frame of your one class and all of that. So those inputs are critical, and you decide that.
Okay.
Okay, I think my screen stopped. Okay, so here is the presentation that it created, and I'm now downloading that presentation. So this is funny, huh? This is for the first time that I'm seeing this, that it actually created a presentation. It never has ever created a presentation for me before. It would give me a slide by slide text, which I would use to input in another tool. But today, for the first time, it has created a presentation, and I'm able to download that presentation. I'm sharing that tab. It's a very, very raw file, but I see that, the OpenAI is making updates, and it's a very, very raw file. So if I do this now, that I go to if I go to Gamma, Disha, could you put up the link for Gamma?
Yes, I'll do that.
So if I go to Gamma now and I do new from blank,
You can type on a new browser gamma.ai, GAMMA.ai.
Disha, Gamma dot. Okay, 1 second. I'm just pasting this.
I have done it.
I can control C.
And the same format, those who are using it for the first time, when you go, you have to register, go
Yes.
with Google, and then select for what purpose you are using. You have to select for personal use. Are you an educator? So you have to put all the inputs, and then you will get the screen which we can see. Okay.
So I'm uploading what ChatGPT gave me to this. It might take a minute or so, and it will give me a full-fledged presentation. Okay, I've asked for a presentation. I could have asked for a document or a website, and I say go, and it gives me a full-fledged presentation. Continue. Yeah, I select a theme from here. The moment I select a theme and I say generate, and my presentation will be ready in a minute. So you see how useful this is, how much time this saves for the teacher, and makes it so engaging as well.
We hope everyone was able to log in to gamma.ai. I didn't get the slides with picture.
Yes.
Slide question. I have downloaded that gamma thing, but the point is that I have to, again, where it is asking describe what you want to create, I have to again paste the whole chapter there.
Yes. Everywhere
Correct.
you have to give the prompt. The text has to be pasted. So they
So-
convert the text to the presentation, the visuals.
Okay. So can I directly go here rather than using the chat GPT?
Yes.
You use ChatGPT to get the context and the content, and then you go
All
there,
that
right?
info.
So you copy that there such that you have content for the slides to be made, because you want the slides in your content, right? You want the
I,
control there.
yeah,
What I
I
want to
was
show
just
to my.
wondering, yeah. I was just wondering whether Gamma can do that also, like AI tool was my question.
Yes, ma'am. So this was basically a thread where Siddharth sir created a lesson plan and he
Yeah.
pasted the lesson plan text into Gamma,
Yes.
right? So we got the presentation of the lesson, right?
Yes.
But in case you have another topic, you can paste anything in that Gamma. Let's say, for example, if you want to create a presentation on some emergency plan of school, right? So you can paste the policy there, the text aspect, and it will give you the presentation.
Yeah. Got it.
So now I'm putting up, give me a song on this chapter, and I get a fun song. I'm going to copy that. Okay, and I go to this another tool which is called suno.ai,
I've pasted that in the chat box for the audience.
and I go to create. I create a custom song, and I type I type
So we cannot see your screen of suno.ai.
Okay, sorry. So I've gone to suno.com. I have pasted the song from ChatGPT here. I enabled custom song here, and then I get this option to enable paste it here, and select the type of music, and I say villages and towns, and I create. And now this gives me a song that I can share for this lesson with my students. And we can actually create this in class of how students would want it, right? So they could actually choose the the lyrics, they could choose the tempo of the song and all of that.
So just wanted to share a tip with everyone. So when we use the suno.ai, you can paste the lyrics of the song as well as you can just give a prompt. Let's say if you want to make a song with two topics, let's say grammar, nouns, and maths fraction. So you can give a prompt like give me a song for grade 3 integrating two topics, that is fractions and noun. It gives amazing songs. Like I've tried this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Disha. I'm now giving you another framework which is called ACDQ. So act like this. This is my context. I want you to deeply think and then you question, right? So this is another framework, and I will give you a sample prompt as well. Okay, so this is a sample prompt. Act as an expert educator specializing in student assessment. I want to create a worksheet for 7th grade students on environmental science focusing on water conservation. This worksheet should assess both their theoretical understanding and their ability to apply knowledge to real world scenarios. Deeply think, consider how you can frame questions that challenge students to think critically, and propose some questions that help students connect what they learn in the classroom and everyday practices of water conservation. Do you need any specific information about the class or curriculum to make this worksheet more aligned with the students' learning level? Right? So once you put up a prompt like this, it's very detailed, very structured, and you get really good results which are aligned to what you want. So you can struct what we are trying to do is give you some ways of prompting which will allow you to put the right prompts to chat gpt. Okay, so once you use maybe one or two of once you use this, I'm going to give you a moment to use the acdq, and maybe one of us could share their screen and show me how you are using it. Any volunteers to sharing their screen?
They have to use this on ChatGPT.
Yeah. All right.
It's
Let me.
simple, dear educators. You just have to copy and paste on your ChatGPT where you can see the create button.
Let me share my screen again, and I will. So you see here, it's giving us example questions. It is defining the level of the Bloom's taxonomy. It is also mentioning clear learning outcomes. So there's also an inquiry-based thinking question at the creating level of the Bloom's taxonomy. There's a question on data interpretation, scientifically, mathematically, socially, promoting a holistic understanding of the topic. Let me know if this aligns with your goals. Yes. Make this relevant for grade 4 students. And it will now give me for grade 4 students as well.
So I have again a question that how it decides grade 4 means grade 4 of what school or what country, what like how it decides that age, how.
It is basically AI has a understand. So grade 4 right now is a very generic prompt that I gave, and I think that's a very good question that you asked, ma'am. You could give very specific context here that give me this for grade 4 CBSE for a 10-year-old child, and it will give you exactly how for the Indian context. So
Mhm.
the moment you give very clear instructions to the prompts, it will.
Mhm.
I think that is something that you identified very well. जितना clear आप instruction दोगे उतना आपको और clarity के साथ output मिलेगा.
Okay, okay.
You
Is
Thank you.
can
why.
even add the board as well, like CBSE, IGCSE,
Correct.
and all that.
And that is why these frameworks, the ones that I've shared with you, ACDQ, or the other one which is called the task and the requirement and the format and the expectations, these framework really work well because they structure the prompt in the right manner and it allows GPT to really understand what you're looking for, and it sets the expectation clearly and rightly out there.
So these frameworks are created by you or it is again created by through
So you
someone?
can use you can actually create these frameworks from ChatGPT also. You could use
Yeah.
you could tell AI that I am new to AI and help me generate high quality prompts. Or
Mm.
you could say that let me show you. So this is basically I just wanted to get you started. Okay, you are. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
In prompt generation, please help me generate better prompts that I can input to chat GPT. What would you like to know from me? Generate high quality prompts such that the output fulfills my requirements. So it will now give me, or it will ask me. It's saying that कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ यूज आप डालो, डिजायर्ड आउटकम फॉर्मेट डालो, कुछ स्पेसिफिक कंटेंट नॉलेज है तो वो डालो, कितना डिटेल में चाहिए, टोन स्टाइल, क्या टारगेट ऑडियंस है, कुछ एग्जांपल्स डालो, कंस्ट्रेंट्स लिमिटेशंस डालो, एंड उसके हिसाब से डालो. सो वंस यू आंसर दीज क्वेश्चंस इन वन prompt and you give it, it will give you very very structured outputs, right? Keeping the above in mind, give me a prompt that I can feed to ChatGPT to get a lesson plan for grade 3 CBSE school in India that is teaching water cycle.
So Kimberly ma'am, she has already created a worksheet with the prompt and she has shared that in the chat. Thank you, Kimberly ma'am.
Thank you, thank you. These prompts are very, very helpful, and they really help you identify, get structured output. Create a detailed lesson plan for teaching the water cycle to third grade students in a CBSE school in India. The lesson plan should be designed for a 40-minute class, including the following elements. Now, once you use this as a full-fledged prompt, I'm opening a new thread. A thread is basically uh, it allows GPT to know what you have done. So whenever you start off with a new thread if you want to do something. Now you see you have a very clearly structured lesson plan that you have received from GPT, and you have taken the prompts from GPT itself. Yeah, and while I've done this, I haven't given a lot of thought to the exact prompts that I have put up, right? So it's just that how you can think, and you have to talk to GPT like a normal person. Just ensure that you're being very precise and crisp thinking. So that's where thinking like an engineer works, because when you're thinking like an engineer, you're always thinking कि अच्छा मैं अगर बोल रहा हूँ कि ब्लैक गर्ल, ओके, अगर ब्लैक गर्ल तो ब्लैक गर्ल बहुत सारे वेरिएंट्स में हो सकती है, राइट? अ ब्लैक गर्ल विथ शॉर्ट हेयर, अ ब्लैक गर्ल विथ लॉन्ग हेयर, अ ब्लैक गर्ल विथ boy cut hair. So how can we be more specific in the prompts that we put out? I think you will get amazing results once you start noticing the smaller details of what you need. That's the thinking that must be going in your brain कि मुझे क्या चाहिए, उसके smaller details में identify करूं और वो अपने prompt में उसको मुझे put up करना चाहिए.
I have a question. Now,
Yes.
Kimberly ma'am has created one worksheet. Now, the
Yeah.
same worksheet can be uploaded on napkin, and it can be
Yes.
beautiful. Like
Yes.
that way, I was just thinking of correlating.
Correct. So you can just copy that. That's exactly what I did with the manifesto, right? So just copy that and put it in napkin, and then you generate amazing images from that.
Brilliant.
And then we can put it in Suno and create a song.
Wow.
Good one, good one.
That's exactly what we wanted to share with you.
So
Now I
I
can actually see those antennas. They're up.
so I
Absolutely.
create today. I'm I am my friend's 50th birthday party, and I created a wonderful song for her. Which I'll play during the party. It's going to be amazing. Thank you for this.
Brilliant.
Wonderful, superb. So this is just the start that we've shared. We've really explored, over the last 6 months we've really explored this. Not just me, my entire team has really put in a lot of effort and worked around with this and explored this. This is just the beginning, okay? But still, what I've shown you is that you have to really work with it. And I see that in our education context, what happens is we don't want to put in that because we are so tied up. We are so tied up that हमें लगता है कि यार ये भी बहुत difficult काम होगा. And every time the right prompting is the right approach, right? So maybe Kajal understands right prompting, but maybe if her team doesn't understand the right prompting, then again Kajal is needed every time, and every time something comes out, then Kajal has to fix it up with the right prompting. So that was the next challenge that we started facing. Okay, and then what we started doing was we started building on something called as GPTs. Okay, we started building GPTs, and that allowed us to really get people thinking in our organization the same way, or prompting in our organization the same way we would prompt. Okay, and I'm going to quickly, I think we have about 5-10 minutes. Maybe we're overshooting also a little
Just
bit.
just one query. Sapna ma'am from Dubai Scholars School, she's there with us. She's asking that how can we use for administration purpose, being a school,
Very,
like principals are managers, so how we can
yes,
use it for that purpose.
brilliant, brilliant. So, how you can use it for that purpose? Let me give you another prompt, which, so I'm not going to uh, demo this, but I'll just put this in the chat, and this will allow you to think how you can use it for uh, administrative purposes, right? So something as simple as this would allow you, to get you multiple ideas of how you can use it for administrative purposes. Okay, and what I'm now going to show you
And we
is
have to follow
something.
the same process which we did for manifesto, just a reminder.
Yes,
Correct.
exactly the same process. So what I have done right now is, let me share my screen.
Can we also create timetable and those kind of things
Yeah,
That's
we have a timetable maker, ma'am.
in
AI
chat
time.
gpt? I'm asking because that is we generally have. So in chat gpt, if we give right prompts, we should be able to, right?
That's yes, that's exactly where we are working right now, and so our plan is to solve for that before the coming year, so that it's a tricky challenge because the context is very unique in every school.
Mm.
There are multiple permutation combinations, but I think currently we've already gotten timetable for about 65% efficacy. But it still requires more prompting and more structured prompting, which we are currently working.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yes, that is exactly the challenge that we're solving right now. So
Mhm.
great, you're thinking in the right direction, and that's exactly the way you should be thinking with AI. Ki how can this solve our problems?
Even substitution also is another huge
The
problem.
moment you get timetable, you will get substitution immediately.
Yes.
Timetable is the larger chunk. Substitution is the easier chunk.
Yeah. Permutation combination. But again, if you have to give effective substitution depending on grade, like who is absent today and who would be the perfect person to go in that class, that also can, that decision making could happen through.
Yes. Yes.
It has
So
to be
what I have
relatively.
done, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So what I have done now is this entire conversation that we were doing. I am Siddharth Rajgaria, and I was taking this class. Okay. So now what this does is I have uploaded the transcript of our, I've uploaded the transcript of this call. Okay. And this GPT has now given me feedback as a master trainer. That Siddharth, what were some of your areas where you did well? What were some of your areas where you can do better? And this allows a teacher to, engagement with participants. You demonstrated excellent engagement with your audience, particularly by posing reflective questions, encouraging them to think. Your effective use of AI as an interactive tool in the session stood out. Clarity of instructions, more differentiated instructions. So I could have, because people are from different spaces in chat gpt, balance between instruction and interaction. So there were extended periods of instruction without participant interaction. So that's a feedback for me where I need to work on that. I have to involve people more, people better. More real life applications could be discussed, and time management for deeper explorations. So these are some feedbacks that gpt gave me to improve on my sessions.
But
So
then it has caught your voice, or like how it knows that what you are speaking and all that.
so whatever so I attached the transcript of this meeting, right? So what I did, let me quickly show you, is I use a tool called Tacit. Tacit helps me transcribe my meetings. Okay. The moment I transcribe my meetings, I export this to a text file. The text file gets downloaded. And then I go back to my GPT. I go back to my GPT and I say I attach my text file, which is the transcript of the call. Okay. And I say I was the teacher. I am Siddharth Rajgaria. Give me feedback.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So now I get very clear feedback from GPT. And we've created a teacher feedback GPT. If you see this here, okay, this is done as per, if you see this, it says this aligns with NEP 2020's focus. So this aligns with the NCF school education framework. Okay, this aligns with the professional standards for teachers, national professional standard for teachers. Okay, and we have fed some frameworks that we use in our organization to build this GPT such that the feedback it gives is within that boundaries. Okay. And that becomes very, very powerful. That becomes very, very powerful because anybody else, and that's how we built the grade 10th maths GPT that was shared. Disha, could you share the grade 10th maths GPT in the chat, so that if anybody did not have access to that, they will use it.
This is
Yes.
tactic, you said, right? TACTIQ.
Correct. So there are multiple. This is just one of. This is not the best tool to transcribe. There are other tools which are better tools. If you do Google Meet transcribes automatically. Even Zoom transcribes. AI Companion also transcribes. So there are multiple tools today that transcribe. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful. I'll also share all the prompts that we have given you. We will share that on a doc for you, which you can refer. Okay, so if you haven't been able to, copy it or something, we'll share all of that typed on a doc with you so that you could refer, you could use with your team. Disha, can you share that doc in the chat as well in view mode so that just make sure that the doc is clearly formatted, and then you could share it in the chat in the next 5 minutes.
Yes, so right now I've shared the demo of the Math GPT as well as the link for the GPT in
Okay.
the chat box.
Thank you. So you can just try your hand. Once you click on this, you go directly to the Math GPT, and you can generate your pre-board question papers or anything directly from here. Okay. So what we are also doing is we are working with multiple schools right now to build unique GPTs for them, specific to their needs. That is also something that we are doing, and that requires a little bit of a longer time. It requires about 6 hours, 7 hours of time, so that we are able to train you in that process. But something like this really smoothens and aligns the entire organization together.
So you also do it for schools, like as customized kind of an help you give?
So see, what we do, see, we are not people. If you ask me, so I've learned all of this tech over the last 1 year, right?
Right.
And my entire role, understanding is that I want to share this as much as possible. And while I share, so what we look to do is we look to empower school. So we will help you
Correct.
develop 2 of these GPTs, और उसके बाद आप अपने पूरे, आपको 100 GPT डेवलप करने हैं, आप 100 कर पाओगे.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely.
We will train your, we'll do capacity building for you कि भाई आप अपने GPT कैसे बना सकते हो.
So yeah, that you do for customize for a school is what I'm saying with our
Correct,
needs.
correct.
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
we do. Yes.
Great.
But that's while I say that, Ashwini ma'am, that's not what our core work is at Equanimity.
I know. I know. You told yesterday. I
When
was
we
just asking
started,
for them.
when we started out Equanimity, okay, our core work was to work with school heads
Yes.
in the intersection of education and spirituality. I am a core Vipassana practitioner, and I also, I have a wonderful coach called Dr. Shri Kumar Rao. He's been working with me for the last 2.5 years, and he's really, really helped me transform my thinking
Oh
as
wow.
an educator. And that is something that we at Equanimity, and that's why we named this company Equanimity, because that is something that we want to take to the entire country, that
Mm-hmm.
how should a school leader be thinking, right?
Mm. Correct.
That is something that we are working directly. Like right now I'm working with Dreamtime Learning, which is Lina's company. I'm working with her one of her school principals, and coaching her school principal to uh, of how to be thinking as a school principal, right? How to be thinking as a school leader.
Mm-hmm.
That
Correct.
becomes very powerful. AI is something which Disha said that, Siddharth, we are starting this, and AI is the new fad. हम इतना काम कर रहे हैं AI में. Why don't we help people do AI? And I said, चलो, let's try. Let's give this a shot.
Ah,
So this is all
correct.
Disha's creativity, and all her initiative to be leading this. But yeah, this is not what we do.
Both the
We
things can go hand in hand, maybe. As we
Right. So
say that
we
with
do a lot
AI,
of.
whatever time that is free for the teachers and the principals, that
Let
they
me
should work on this, building their
let me
capacity.
give you let me give you a quick glimpse. Okay, our entire philosophy of leadership is actually based on a concept called constant gentle pressure. Disha, if you can share that reading with everybody. It's about a salt and pepper shaker.
Great.
And it's a beautiful read. I see some of you are amazing leaders here, and it will immensely benefit you if you go through that.
So I'll be sharing a Google form link, which would be a feedback kind of a thing. So we will have their emails, and I'll share everything
Sure.
emails with
Done.
them.
Done. So let me give you a quick glimpse of what is some possibilities as administrators when so what I understand is when we stand in front of the mirror, okay, if the mirror tells me that Siddharth, you're going fatter, and you will automatically say, okay, let me eat lesser a little bit or let me exercise. But if I'm standing in front of the mirror and a third person tells me, Siddharth, you're going fatter, I will say, यार पहले तू अपने आप को देख फिर मेरे को बताना. Correct? So
Absolutely, absolutely.
so that is how data has to be used in a school system. So data has to be used like a mirror in the school system. Okay,
Right.
and that becomes really powerful for constant gentle pressure on any school system. So we help schools build data understanding, and using data understanding, using AI, we develop a sort of leadership. Let me give you a very quick glance at one data point that we capture. Okay, so our entire group does a lot of teacher observations. Okay, and we capture all teacher observations on a dashboard. Now that dashboard allows us to understand a lot of data point for teachers specifically, for campuses specifically. Okay, let me give you a quick glimpse. So this is a data point where I see that, okay, these are my observers. They have done so many observations in a month. These are my people who have been observed. These are the subjects where observations have happened. You know, this is a great data point. Then, I see the learning environment is joyful, and I see data based on that. Okay, and I'm able to see that yes, it is mostly joyful. I'm able to also filter down, right? 45 instances, they say that only at some occasions. So I'm able to actually filter down and see कि ये जो right में नाम आ रहे हैं, इनके learning environments में ऐसा challenges है. So now this teacher who is on top, who where there are 3 observations of that teacher, and it's saying that the learning environment is not so joyful. Okay, that's such a powerful data point for me as an educator to really work on, right? So now we use all of this data and feed that into AI and say that what should be our course of action? How can I help these teachers? Right. So it's very, very powerful once a school starts working on data, and once a
Wow.
school uh, I've so over the last 5 years I've been understanding कि भाई कौन सी कंपनी है जो मुझे ये काम करा सकती है, कैसे पॉसिबल है. Matlab, we worked with multiple companies, but finally we had to figure it out on our own. Last 2 years were very, very challenging, but finally we've been able to, really figure this out. And it's very, very powerful. Very powerful.
So the prompt for the observations you must have created, right, to get this data, right?
No, no, no. So that is not AI. That is data. So
Okay.
that part of it, that's why I said AI is like just 2% of the work that we are doing. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that is a completely different thing, which is data analytics.
Yeah. No, but
Great.
to capture the data also you could create the way you want to capture the data, right? For getting
So
this
we'll
kind of.
continue. I think we are deviating a little bit, Ashwini ma'am. We'll
Yeah.
continue this conversation. Maybe you could stay back and we can continue this.
Oh, yeah, I'll call you. No, no, no worries.
Yes. Uh, so thank you everybody for joining in. I hope that was useful, gave you some sparks, and quickly I'm going to ask you. Yeah. So I think that's a form that has some questions as well.
So can I intervene for a second?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I've pasted a Google form link in the chat box. So I request everyone to please fill it. Hardly there are 2 questions in it. So we'll have your emails recorded as well as phone numbers, and we can give you the complete download of today's learnings in the form of PDFs and maybe some tips and tricks and links through the email. So kindly fill that form.
And Disha, while everybody's filling that, why don't you share the video of a leadership program that we did at DPS Nashik?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Just a second.
I think
And
Ritu.
meanwhile, I'm also pasting the WhatsApp group link, as many of you have shared a request. We run a community for educators. In that community, we already have 500 teachers. That group is exclusively for teachers. I'm pasting, and it's safe to be there. You will get regular updates about our upcoming online webinars and offline sessions. So we will be doing it. Okay.
So while you're filling up the form, if you can also fill up, one thing that stood out for you, one thing that you will work on immediately after this in the chat, that will be interesting to read. Thank you, Dr. Kanchan. Thank you, Ritu ma'am. How can we use to make good question papers? Yes. So similar. So you could use the same framework, and the task, requirement, format, expectation. That framework would allow you to make very good question papers. And in case any of you would like us to help you develop a GPT for that, like the maths GPT, please reach out to Disha, and she will definitely help you work on that. Thank you, Dubai scholars, for joining. I see that Kajal was sharing that about 5 to 6 people are there. I am in Dubai in November. I am in Dubai in the first week of November and would love to visit the school if that's a possibility.
Sapna Miss has already shared a request that I wish to meet Mrs. Siddharth. So you can catch up then, as you're already heading to Dubai.
Yes. Please help me make my itinerary for Dubai. See, this is all orchestrated. Who knew that today somebody from Dubai will join in? Brilliant, lovely. Thank you, Lydia ma'am. You talked about exploring napkin.ai and Suno. Okay, both of them are brilliant tools.
Thank you, Mr. Siddharth.
Thank you. Have a good day. Have a good
You
Sunday.
too. You too. You too. Can we wrap up, sir?
Yeah, Disha, are you playing that video? Go ahead, play that video.
I had played. Was
No,
it not visible?
oh, no, wasn't.
Just a second. I'll do that.
Yeah, we did not see it.
Okay, one sec.
It's a beautiful video. It was so we do something called as a leadership retreat. Okay, the leadership retreat helps align the entire school system together and brings in the vision to reality. So the day started with a heritage walk in the city of Nasik, and we did a 2 hour heritage walk in the morning in the old lanes of the city, and then we connected all of that into what we do in school, right? So how does our heritage inspire us to become better educators? How does our heritage connect with what we are doing? Whether we should connect what we are doing in school today to what the city means or not, really contextualizing education, asking those deeper questions. It's really, really impactful.
Can you see it?
No, no.
No, no. Somehow.
Can you send me the link and I will
So
play it?
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, we can see it now.
We
Okay.
can
Actually,
see.
can you play it?
Yeah, I'll play it again. Yeah.
Why can I not
Right, you
see?
can see, ma'am?
Disha,
Yeah.
I think you need to only, we can say, see it in a small frame.
Correct.
Actually, Siddharth sir, you have to stop sharing your screen.
Yeah,
Then
yeah, yeah.
Disha will
Got
be
it,
able
got
to,
it, got it, got
yeah,
it, got it.
because at a time we can share only one screen.
Yeah.
I do not use Zoom, so sorry for
Yeah,
that.
that's okay. That's okay.
Now I think everyone can
Yes,
see.
yes. Now we will be able to see. Though it is taking time, but we can see the black screen at least.
Disha, I think she's playing.
Yeah.
So I've already played.
No,
No,
can't.
Okay.
Okay, maybe
Can
I'll
you
share that on the email then.
can you
Okay.
share the link or video with me? I'll try from my side.
Yes, ma'am. Just doing
Yeah.
it. Just a second.
Until then, all the educators I have shared the WhatsApp group link. Feel free to join the community to get all the updates.
And
We have,
apologies for some of the hiccups that might have happened in between. Like I said, I was doing this for the first time. So, and thank you for being a patient audience.
Rajat ma'am, I've sent you the link.
yeah.
It's
So there,
absolutely amazing.
so we
Disha,
always say there is always a first time, and that shows that work is in progress, right? So, Disha, you can stop sharing your screen. I'll start my, like you've shared on my WhatsApp,
Right.
right? And it's a YouTube link.
Yes, ma'am.
I can see that's a YouTube link. So I will go on my WhatsApp and we will paste this YouTube link as well so that they can view it later. Just a minute. I can see that. So share screen. Yes, it will happen. I'm confident. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
yes,
We can see that.
Yes, yes, yes.
the
Yeah.
audio isn't there. The
Yeah.
audio isn't there though.
Audio.
No, can't see the audio.
Okay, I'll just check once again. One last time.
Now you can play it, I think, Sheetal. It may come.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I'll talk about it. So we started with a heritage walk, and then we brought all of that learning into our discussions, and using that, so this was a GPT, and then there's a framework that we use for ideation. So we used that framework, and this was a reflection at the end of the day. That is Shilpa ma'am. I think she had joined. She might be there today. So the
yes.
the
So can
idea.
I talk about it?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, as a participant, I think that was a wonderful journey we had. The heritage walk in Nasik, there were so many things we never knew about what's happening. And then actually connecting it to what we are doing in school, that was wonderful learning experience for the entire team. And that's still into, so whatever the goals we set or we identified during this session has really helped us get insights on how we are going to work further in development of the school.
So a workshop like this really sets the tone for the entire year, and comes out with insights for the entire year, that okay, this is how the school is going to function for the next year, and it's very, very powerful. Thank you, Shilpa ma'am, for sharing that.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
so should we end, Kajal?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Ashwini ma'am, if you're there, if you have any questions, we could connect over the phone. Is that okay?
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll do that.
All right.
I will
Thank you.
connect with you.
Thank you, everyone, for being with us.
Bye.
So
thank you,
thank
everyone.
you so much for joining, spending your precious time on a bright Sunday morning. I hope we did justice. And as Siddhartha rightly said, we will promise to over deliver. So you will get your certificate very soon. Have a beautiful Sunday ahead. Thank you, Miss Disha, for being a fabulous co-assistant. Brilliant. You were dynamic, and you were all your prompts you had on your fingertips.
Thank you. Thank you, Kajal ma'am. Just to share one thing to all the principals and the senior faculties who are here. So this was just a glimpse that we saw, how ChatGPT and AI can help us with our school operations, policy making, and all this stuff. With Siddharth, sir, we are doing a lot, many things. And yes, if we can help you out, we are there. Please reach out to us. Thank you, everyone.